Okay, so can everyone see my screen? Just let me know with an affirmative or a thumbs up. We good? Okay,
Good.
perfect. Okay, so this is the Trade Up to Construction website, as you guys have seen. How you access the job board is you just go right over here to the top where it says job board. And this is our Trade Up to Construction Career Center. So I'll take you on a little tour of the job seeker side, and then we'll get into the employer stuff. So this is what job seekers are going to see when they come to the Career Center. They can type by keyword, they can type by industry, and it will all filter through there. They can search listings here, they can post their resumes, get job alerts, and apply, all of those things. If they hit jobs, it's going to take them to the job list. These are the ones that are up so far. It is very early on in this process, and so we're still aggregating a lot of the jobs on here. It's very important for our companies to post the jobs so that we can really build this up and encourage our workforce to go there and make this the place that people are seeking job postings at. So this is where they will find all of that information. They can have a profile, and so they'll set up a profile. They can sign in and create a profile. That's where their resume will be. That's where they can save their job alerts, things like that. And there's also a resource center. In addition to the Trade Up Resource Center, which has construction specific resume, things like that, this place also offers reference checking, profile development, coaching, things like that. So they have that at their disposal as well. So for employers, I'm going to take you guys through the process for how to post a job and how to get onboarded into the Career Center. Again, feel free to holler if you have any questions. So what this is going to do is this is going to take you to the employer's page. I'm going to show you what the sign up looks like, and then we'll log on for ours. So an employer registration is going to look like this. You're going to need to designate a contact person at your organization. So that's your HR person, whether that's an owner, whoever that is, designate them, put them in here, their job title and some contact information. You can set your time zone. So if you have an East Coast office that would want to be updated first, you can go ahead and put that. You'll set up a username and password. If you're a member, you can hit yes and put your member number in. Right now, we are not restricting it to members only. However, only members can be part of our sponsorship program right now. And there are some perks that go along with that we'll get into. You can specify the type of employer, and then you have an opportunity to create your employer profile. At that point is where you're going to put your name, your website, and this is the information that appears on your employer profile. It doesn't go into the job posting, but it's going to appear under your name and it'll appear with your employer information. And this is kind of cool. You can also put an applicant tracking system if you employ one in your own office. If you use BirdDog, if you use CareerPlug or CareerBuilder, if you use any of those, it can coincide with the one you already use. So it can match up with Zoho or any of those that you're using. And then terms and conditions, and you'll verify, save and continue. And then it will take you to a billing type page. And that page is going to have just your, it's just going to confirm your address, phone number, contact person, but it's not relevant for billing purposes. It's not going to take any credit card information or anything from you because this is a free service. So this is not costing you guys anything. So once you guys have a sign in, we can go ahead and go to overview. And this is kind of what a profile will look like. We've made an AGC one just so you guys can see what that looks like. So any applications that you've received for your jobs are going to live here. These are all of the resumes in the network. And so the network right now is connected to the AGC of America network as well. So these resumes could be from all over the place. Native resumes. So these are the ones that are hyper localized. So for example, if you search here, we've got a heavy equipment operator apprentice right here. And then we have another one who's in here confidentially. And so that one's going to pop up under relevant jobs. The nice thing for employees and employers is that they can have a certain level of confidentiality as they look and go through this process. The balance is going to stay 0 because again, this is not a charge service at this point. there are some featured employer things that you can get. Banner ad rotation, exclusive profile page, and enhanced job postings. These are kind of cool, especially if the branded profile page. So you can get this, enhanced branded jobs. You'll get priority listing on this job board, banner ads that go along the bottom for some visibility. And for those, we are doing our sponsorship program. We can go ahead and talk more about that if you guys are interested at the end. But we will set up a promo code for those. And so that's how you'll access those. So we can go ahead and go back here. This is where you'll be able to see how many active jobs you have, how many pending jobs you have. If you're like, I'm not ready to really put it out there yet, but we have it ready to go. Closed, all of your statistics and stuff will be right here. So again, the format for this requires a pricing structure, but we're not utilizing that. We're going to go ahead and make this free because we feel like this is something that the industry needs. I would say that you'll have a 30-day job posting for your job, and you'll probably want to re-up that. You could automatically renew it or do things like that, but redoing it with a new posting is going to bump that job back to the top of the list. So that's a good thing to know for if you're having jobs that are sitting there for a little bit longer. Reposting them bumps them back to the top of the list so that they don't get lost in the shuffle at the bottom. I'll skip to resume search real quick. So if you're looking for specific resumes, you can go ahead. I want to know who's interested in internships in this crew. Great. So all of these people are interested in internships. You know, we have our heavy operator apprentice who's interested. We've got an architect apprentice, things like that. You can search by willing to relocate, interested in entry level, et cetera, to filter those resumes for you so that it takes a little bit of the guesswork out of it, and it makes it a little bit less of a search for y'all. So when you have these options, there's a couple different ways to do it. So you can post a job. You can manage your jobs, which is all of your jobs once they're posted are going to be here. So you can see how many times they've been viewed, how many times they've been clicked, number of candidates, number of applicants, the number of people who have set up alerts that included your job, all of those things. Give me just 1 second. All right, 1 moment. I just got to let somebody in. There we go. All right. So you can go ahead and have all of this information in here for each job, and it makes it really easy to track, okay, what's working, what's not. If you have certain information in some postings and certain information not in others, you can say, okay, this information that we're posting is really working. And so this is going to be a great option for folks. That's where your managed applications are going to be. It has the same process, but it's a little bit more refined. So you can really see the applicant locations. You can see only the people who have applied as opposed to everybody who's clicked on it and looked at it. And then you can also bulk post jobs. This is great for our larger companies that have 10 or more jobs to post. Or if you're posting really frequently, if you have jobs already in your existing hiring database and you just want to upload them, this is going to be a great option. This is going to give you the very specific examples and specs for upload. So it'll tell you exactly what your field names, what your spreadsheet or table needs to look like in order to be uploaded. So, and then it'll have you verify the format. So it'll have you paste the file, paste the first couple lines of your feed right here into it, and it'll hit check format, and it'll let you know whether or not this format's going to work for the upload or if they need you to refine it a little bit. And so what's nice is that this does most of that for you. It gives you a specification checklist so that you know exactly how to format all of that. And you can also contact 2 different places for questions. So for this whole job board, there's going to be 2 resources for you for questions. There's going to be us. Kim and I will have access to you guys' accounts and be able to fix things or move things or adjust things if you need help. But you can also contact the customer service line at this number right here. It's that 1-800-491-8833. And that one connects to the developer end. And so that one will connect you to them, and they can walk you through some of the process as well. So I'll jump on here and show you exactly how to create a new job. So for now, we're going to create a marketing position. If you have an internal job number that you want to track, this is where you're going to put that. In the description, you're going to want to put job responsibilities. So this is where you're going to want to have anything that they're going to be required to do, information about the job. A couple of things that we've been working on with our career navigator, some things that are great to include. The schedule is a big one, especially with in working in construction. That's a lot of us work 410s, or if there's shift work, things like that. Schedule is going to be important. Any travel requirements, make sure to include those because that's going to make a difference. And any like company culture things. So for example, we have Lightig that puts some of the fun activities that their employees get to participate in their job postings. If you have events that you host for employees, if you have things like that that you want them to know about, if you've been voted good, great place to work, things like that, those are all great things to put in a job description as well. Requirements. What's nice about this is that you can put requirements. This is just a free text form, so you can write whatever you want. And so you can put required, preferred, necessary, would like, anything like that. You can break it down by that as well. You're going to select education. And from us, obviously, a lot of it is equivalent experience, and you can specify that in the description or in the requirements, degree or equivalent experience. It will require you to select something. If there's no strict education requirement, you can just put high school and click preferred, and it will not filter it out of anything. And so everyone will still be able to see it. Right now, we have 4 main categories, and those are executive, office, safety, and field. So field personnel, those would be your craft laborers, carpenters, iron workers. Those are your in the field folks. You might consider those site superintendents depending on your company structure, or you might slide those into an executive position. Safety personnel, that's going to be safety managers, safety directors, anybody who's in a safety related field is going to go right in there. Office is going to be things like marketers. So that would be this position. It's going to be HR, it's going to be admin, things like that. And then executive is their higher level positions where you want them to be in that executive level. I'm just putting some stuff here so that you can see what it's going to look like once we whatever it is. Give me my kicks where I can find them, okay? So you're going to be able to specify the type of work, whether that's a full-time contract. If you have a temp to full-time opportunity, that can be great. Per diem, part-time, those things. And then you'll specify your level. Entry-level, internship, or experienced. I really recommend posting your internship opportunities on here. We've had a lot of interest, especially from the colleges and the construction management students, about getting internships and how they struggle to really find those internships, because construction jobs are posted sometimes on LinkedIn and places like that, and construction internships, they're actually struggling to find. So if you have internships available, definitely post those because there's people that are interested. Then it's going to have it broken down by industry. The people that set this up, they're not as well versed as we are in all of the various things that, industries that we cover. So they're a little simplistic, and we may expand these at some point. So if you see one in particular where you're like, man, I really wish I could select X as an industry, let me know and I can touch base with them. For now, they're broken down primarily by trade. And so you can select into the primary trade where that applies to you, or that applies to the position. If it's a carpentry position and you're not a strictly carpentry place, that's fine. It'll just help them find you and find the jobs. You can check the box if telecommuting is allowed, or if there are any remote opportunities. So that's nice. It's a good way to let people know if you have a remote position. And this is going to be really important. So the number of openings, if you have openings for 10 carpenters, We want to know that you have openings for 10 carpenters. If you've got 2 graphics positions open, or 3 mechanics positions or whatever, definitely put them there, because that's going to keep that job up there, despite the number of applicants, because they know that you have multiple opportunities right there. Okay, and the other one that's going to be the biggest thing is the salary information. So in Washington State, which is where this job board is located, you are going to be required to post salary information in all job postings as of January. So salary is required. Right now, for the next month, we have some jobs in there that have DOE in them, because this is a free form. You can fill it with all sorts of different things, but you have to enter something. And as of January, you're going to have to enter the actual salary information. You can put a range. We have 24 to 28, depending on experience. That's great. But you do need to put some sort of salary information. And honestly, that is really in your best interest. It's really encouraged by us and by our construction career navigator, who's been helping us with this. Is your job posting will have infinitely more applicants if you put the salary information in the job posting. So you can put in the description that it's negotiable. You can put additional salary info if you're like, negotiable, talk about X, Y, and Z, depends on relocation, et cetera, et cetera. You can put your benefits information in this area, and I encourage you to do so. Includes medical, dental, 3 picnics a year, whatever it is. But we're just going to say that. And this is a great place to put those other additional salary tangential information that's going to be helpful for you. Relocation costs, whether or not there's any relocation opportunities or relocation assistance that might be relevant for some of those, especially those superintendent jobs that are requiring a lot of travel. Country. So I know that we have some folks that are in Marshall Islands or other places, but this is primarily this region, so it's not as relevant. But should you have someone that's somewhere else, you can certainly share that, and you can certainly post it if you have an office elsewhere in Tri-Cities or Northern Idaho or in these other locations. So you select your state. We'll put Washington, Spokane, and put our postal code. And so you can make this a confidential posting. So if you have a situation where you're hiring a new position, but you haven't officially announced it yet, that's a great opportunity. So you can go ahead and make the posting. This will suppress your company's name, and it will show up as a job posting without your profile and logo attached. So that is a good opportunity for if you're going through a restructuring, or if you're considering adding a position and you just want to see what's out there, that can be a good way to do it. So you have 2 options here for where you're going to send your applicants. You can send an email address, and that's where it just goes straight to an email. And I know a lot of our folks are going to utilize this, where it's just going to go directly to your hiring manager. It's going to go directly to your vice president. That's an option. You can also redirect it to a job application URL. So if you have a website, like a company website, where you prefer to post everything and you don't want to replicate the wheel, you can just redirect to a job application URL and have them apply through your internal system. So it will all be in your own internal system. Keywords are a great thing to utilize. And this is one of those tips and tricks you can take away for using the job posting. So for example, if you need a Teamster driver, CDL, truck, Class A, all of those things are going to be things that people are searching for if they're searching for that job. If you're looking for a mechanic, heavy equipment, auto, CDL, mechanics and repair, things like that. If you're looking for a risk assessment or an actuary type, risk assessment, safety, hazard, health, all of those things. Just think, what are they going to search to find it? So for this marketing position, for example, you can put graphics, marketing, communications, what if you want them to have a certain degree. So if you want them to have a bachelor, you can put whatever that is in the list of keywords. It's going to have you click the government compliance. This just means that it requires you to know that they're required to have U.S. citizenship or permanent residence or proof of employment. It just says that you can go ahead and note anti-discrimination, things like that. Because you clicked this, it means that you don't necessarily have to put those things in your full job posting, though you are more than welcome to. Many people and many companies choose to put that information in this description, put their ECC and things like that in there. And then these are for notes. It's not going to appear on the job. So this is just for you if you're like, we'll take 3 applicants and then close it, or because you have internal candidates, or if you have concerns about this job, or check back in 3 days to see location, to see where everybody's coming from, whatever it is. This is an office option for you so that you can see it and it won't appear in the job. Then you're going to get the opportunity to preview your job. This one's going to look a little funny because it just has our general information that we put in there, but it's not active yet. So you haven't posted it yet. You can just, this is just a preview for you. You still have the chance to go back and change it, et cetera, et cetera. So here's what it'll appear. What I would recommend is go ahead and put the job title at the very top in that responsibilities description zone. So at the very top under description, you're going to want to put the job title. It's going to appear up here, but people will also want to read it right here. Also, having a bold that says job description would be great too, because it doesn't appear automatically. So you can have job description. Then it's always great to bold anything that you want them to see as headings. So you can bold requirements, bold preferred, etc. And these are those notes that we noted down earlier, that you have multiple openings, telecommuting allowed, things like that. Job employers or seekers will be able to create a job alert for this job or similar. And then here's your company profile, just a little bit about us, and you can connect to LinkedIn as well. It will also connect to other similar positions, and you'll get details about the job right here, including the compensation, etc. Then you're going to go proceed to checkout. It takes you through this process because these are how these job boards are structured. But again, we're not going to charge you for anything. So resume access is included with this. So that means that you can go ahead and preview listings, go ahead and look through the resume lists. All of that's included in here. Okay. And then when you're done, you're going to say process order, and your job will be live. And you'll be able to go ahead and take a look, and it'll send you a little receipt that your job posting is live, that you did it, and then that way you can use that to track in the future as well. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that, since we're not hiring anyone who needs to stand on their head and wear clown shoes. So this is what the resume search, all of this will be available as well once you have posted that job. So any questions? Questions, comments, concerns? You can put it in the chat or shoot me an email as well. This is the pending job. Posted it. We can go ahead and edit it. We can deactivate it. So I'm going to deactivate that because we're not using it. And you can do that after you have filled it, or you can close it however you prefer to track your systems. We're not going to be super strict on how you manage these because we want this to be functional for you. So whatever is the most functional with your current systems, the better. And we want that to be the easiest for you.
Shannon, it looks like we have one question in the chat.
Yes.
Manny's looking to see how many jobs can we post for free?
We don't currently have a limit. You can post all your jobs. In fact, I would encourage you to post as many jobs as you want. You'll need to create an additional posting for each one, or use that bulk post feature if you want to do more of them that way. But there's not a limit to how many you can post, and we encourage you to post as many as possible because we do want to make this kind of the one-stop shop for construction positions. And the best way to do that is to have lots of them available. So, and yes, you can post for any state location. We're not restricting it to this area. It's nice to have a big representation from this area because that's primarily who's going to be coming to it, at least at the beginning. We think that this has the possibility to expand quite a bit, and so it's very possible that people from other states and other locations will be looking at it. But the majority to start with will probably be from this region. So you can certainly post for any location that you have something available for. So most of the time you will have access. There's one in the chat, a question in the chat regarding candidate contact information. You will have access to candidate contact info should they choose to make it public. Many of these are going to be public. So if you can go ahead and peruse the listings, they're going to be available. So let me go ahead and go over here. So if you have a job posting and you click on these, most of these will have, see, it wants me to buy a job before giving me their contact information. So it wants you to have a job up. But once you do that, most of them will have their contact information just available in this list. Some of them may have done what is possible for employers to do as well, which is have it be confidential. So it will give you a phone number or a first name and an email and not the additional information. But that's the long answer. Short answer is that you'll have access to the information that the job seeker chooses to give you, but most job seekers want to be contacted, so they will have their information as part of this resume search. Yeah, you should be able to download their resumes. So like I said, let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and get in and let me show you the job real fast. Go here. Salary. It is going to make you select your location, or don't forget that. And their salary, DOE, great. And oh yeah, this is good to know. So this will let you know if you're missing anything. So if you're missing a job, don't worry, it's not going to let you go ahead without specifying exactly where you need to fill in this box. So it's not going to let you post an only partial job. Proceed to checkout. We're going to go ahead and check out. Process order, excellent. This is what your receipt will look like. It appears online within the next hour. So if it doesn't appear right away, don't panic. It's all going to be right there and you'll get an invoice to show that you have it. So there's that. And then if you go into resume search, now you have all of this. So this is Alex. He's a heavy equipment operator apprentice. View resume in PDF. So most of these you will be able to download the resume. I think all of these you'll be able to just download the resume. And so, for example, Alex is bilingual. He has some heavy equipment operation experience already, honor roll, et cetera, and it has his contact right here. So you will be able to download those as well. It's also asked questions like, are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to travel? Internships, etc. So any other questions? And then you can also, this is kind of cool, if you can note interested, not interested, contact, forward, print, etc. So you can forward this to a coworker or a hiring manager. You can shoot them an email directly. You can sort of sort them into categories so that you can come back for these ones. So if I'm interested in Alex, I can go ahead and click that, and then that'll appear in my applicant pool in my overview. So, and you can search them this way as well. So there we go. And that's what that looks like. All right. Yes, you will typically be notified, so it will send an email to your primary contact. It's all connected via email, so it should all go ahead and connect you via that primary contact email. What's good too is that we are doing like some back-end training with the developers of this site. So if there's something that it's not doing that you wish it would, or that would be helpful for you guys, just let us know, and we can go ahead and bring it back to the developer and say, hey, can you make sure that it's sending a notification that looks like this, or can you send it to multiple people, or whatever it is. But it will send it to that primary contact that you have listed. Okay, anything else? Manage jobs. All right, any other questions? Comments, concerns? Okay. Well, if you do have any questions that come up, feel free to send them my way, send them to the AGC, or there is also, if you have a specific technical question, you can contact the Career Center help. So the Career Center can also help you with that. There's, when you sign up, it'll go ahead and give you a number for a tech line to help you out with that. If you're interested in any of these featured employer opportunities, just let us know. I believe it starts at $5,000 for a year to have the exclusive profile page, banner ad rotations, and some enhanced job postings. And it goes up from there. It goes up to include co-branded social media postings, includes commercials with our production team over at Creme, so you could have custom commercials filled with the best that then link back to your job board, which is very nice come hiring season. So that might be really good to have come February, March with our production team. And so you can have your open jobs, about you, relevant projects, et cetera, et cetera. You can even post videos of showing what the job is going to look like, or what your company culture looks like, or things like that. And you'll have some logo visibility as well. Okay. Anything else before we wrap up? Okay. Well, great. Thank you guys for being here this morning. I so appreciate it. If you have any other questions, feel free to just shoot me an email. I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the chat so that you guys can reach me if you need me. And
thank you, Shannon, for doing this.
Absolutely. Thanks for popping in, guys. I appreciate it. And you all have a great day.